Gen Alpha is never told no. Welcome back, Brett Cooper. Yet another reaction. We are back. We are watching it. And really, it's one of your most favorite YouTubers. It's one of my most favorite YouTubers. And today we're going to be giving our rational opinion on different generations because both we can always argue that there's a problem with different generations of people, but is it actually true or are we just over exaggerating it? Right, let's start. I suggest we start with Gen Alpha.
So how would you feel if you were a small child and it was your birthday and you woke up and you were so excited to have cake, you were so excited to get presents, you were excited to get all the attention for one day, but then when you go to blow out your candles, your siblings try to get in first, and rather than telling them no, your mom allows all of them to blow out your candles.
That would be super sad, but that would be also stupid because it's a tradition. You're just going against the traditions.
11-year-old, I'm sure that would hurt. I'm sure it would be annoying and be confusing. And that is exactly what happened in a famous TikTok mom's recent video. And people online are calling attention to how behavior like this could have led to the Gen Alpha terror epidemic. Before we dive into this story, though, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to this channel if you've not already, and of course...
Yeah, do the same, by the way, for Zynos, because I'm gonna have to rename the channel soon enough. I hope I don't forget it. But before I didn't, subscribe to Zyno77. It's as easy as it gets.
Ring that notification bell if you never want to miss one of these videos. All right, so the original video has now been deleted, as most videos and controversies are, but it has been reposted countless times at this point. So basically, this mom, her name is Cicely, she is a family and lifestyle creator. It was her oldest daughter's 11th birthday, but all of her younger kids wanted to blow out the candles, and she let them. And she filmed it, and she put it on TikTok. And the camera just kept rolling as her oldest daughter, the birthday girl, progressively got sadder and sadder as the video went on. Just watch.
Oh no.
Do you want to put it now?
So because we need to blur their faces, I just want to give you kind of a play-by-play of what happened. So the oldest girl, she's wearing a little headband. It says happy birthday. She gets up to blow her candles. Her younger sister is immediately already leading in. So she reaches over and puts her hand in front of her little sister's face. And you can say about that what you will, but she already knows that this might be coming. And then the little girl turns around and cries, "Oh, mommy, I want to blow out the candle." So then Cecily picks up that child, blows out the 11-year-old candles. They relight the candles. Another child comes in and blows them out. They relight them yet again. Another child comes out and blows out the candles. And then standing on the sidelines, the 11-year-old girl whose birthday it is just stands there, and guys, she gets so sad. She just looks dejected and annoyed, and she's just watching all of her siblings blow out her candles on her pile of cookies.
That is like super bizarre because that has no rational explanation. You have a birthday. It's your birthday. It's you who's turning 11 years old. Yeah, this has no rational opinion, guys. I'm sorry. I tried to find. Well, maybe. Okay, let's listen to the explanation at least.
And of course, at 11 years old, like I said, I'm sure that this sucked. Like saying no or it's not your birthday would have been such an easy thing for the mom to do. And because of that, the internet lit into Cecily. I mean, reposts of her video now have over 15 million views. Young people are making really hostile videos saying, you know, my parents did stuff like this and I don't speak to them anymore. Like the attacks have been very harsh. One person,
11 years old, that's 2013. Gosh, time flies. Time flies.
Said that'll be a core memory for all the wrong reasons. Another person said that's going to be internal silent hate towards the siblings for life. Somebody else said she just doesn't know what kind of trauma she's creating in the oldest and the entitlement she's creating in the little ones.
That is true. I don't know if it's going to be hate. It also depends on the child, but it's definitely going to be a traumatic memory. Like younger siblings, yeah, the kid's not going to like it.
Is not okay. Now, before she deleted the video for about a day, Cecily was in the comments apologizing and saying, you know, I'm still learning. It's my first time being a mom too. I should have realized that was not the best way to handle it.
That's her first time. She's got 3 kids. She's got 3 children. What do you mean you don't know how it's like to be a mom? That is such a bad take.
next time. We've addressed this at home, but still the conversation online has not stopped. And I'm sure that that is making things at home more difficult for them. Yet another reason why I'm just not a fan of putting your young children and your family on blast on social media for millions of people to see and comment on. But, that is a topic for another time. I've talked about this at length. You can go watch those episodes if you want to hear me rant about that. Anyway, before we get into what other people are really talking about and how this ties into Gen Alpha, I want to be clear and say that I have no hard feelings towards Cecily. She lives here in Nashville. I'm sure that we have run in similar circles at some point. Her husband is a pastor. They moved here from California, and she just seems really, really sweet. She seems so joyful, and based on what viewers can see, really
Yeah, but I mean, that is so bizarre still.
tries to fill life with so much love, so much fun. She seems very intentional.
Well, I give her that. She has 3 children. Like, you can only respect that.
And even though she is making videos like 5 times a day and she's putting it all on camera, it does seem like her children live a very, very full and happy life. I mean, for example, she was making videos leading up to her daughter's birthday where she was showing the lengths that she was going to make were Taylor Swift themes. She had, the cricket out. She was making her own posters and all of that stuff. She was excited about the present she was getting her daughter. It was very
To this woman, except of her living, she's so desperately trying to defend her, although the woman did do wrong. Maybe it was just one mistake. I mean, I didn't really follow the creator. I thought we are going to be talking about Gen Alpha, and for over almost 4 minutes we've been talking about some TikTok creator.
very happy. It seemed very wholesome. So all of that to say, I don't think that she is a bad mother by any means, but it has sparked a big conversation online about modern parents not being able to say no to their kids, which is so true, and that is very important to talk about. I mean, you guys have seen the stories about Gen Alpha, the rabid, boundaryless iPad kids who are running around Sephora, destroying displays, and
you got some Ohio Riz, that is what I heard. Sigma, all of this. Nah, but it's just the new generation, really. We had similar stuff. It just was our stuff, and we knew about it, and we liked it.
terrorizing retail workers who are literally making teachers quit because they are so hard to deal with. Just watch to jog your memory.
Yesterday, I broke up an assault in my band hall. Not a fight, an assault. A kid punching another kid in the head at least 4 or 5 times. Some mystery kid decided to get creative over the last 12 hours when I wasn't paying attention and literally took every single string off of every single French horn that we own, making them unplayable. Never in my 13 years of teaching have I ever had such a problem with kids keeping their hands to themselves and keeping them from destroying property. I love my...
So you're saying that this is the kid's problem, right? I actually have to check my connection right now. But it's super weird because as I seem to listen, it looks like this woman is blaming the children, which is bizarre if you ask me, because you're a teacher.
My kids, but I'm beaten and abused and tired.
I mean, that is wild. That's not kids just interrupting or being on their phones. They literally know no boundaries. And teachers, they can try to discipline them, but that all starts at home. Here's another example.
Gentle parenting is ruining our children. Some children need a little firmer of a hand. It's starting to impact schools. It is starting to impact teachers. Teachers are leaving.
The problem isn't even this. The problem is that you have to, from the very beginning, you have to show that they will get a reward only if they do good stuff. So why do the children do bad stuff? Why do they destroy everything and all of this? Well, because they get the reward. They get the reward of satisfaction, of the fact that they took the strings from the horn, but they don't get the punishment, right? So if they would have gotten this punishment before, that would block that would be much more scarier than the satisfaction from pulling out the strings. But since they don't have this punishment, they don't really have what to compare with. And yeah, if that makes them happy and they don't get demolished for it, well, then they will do it. It's just kids.
The profession by thousands every year because of the way children behave. Sometimes you have to punish your kids, okay? You just have to. They can't always negotiate their way out of consequences.
Like, how is this a hot take. How is this controversial? Like, I cannot believe that these poor teachers are having to go online and beg parents to discipline their kids. But sadly, it's become the norm to just send your kids to school for 6 to 8 hours. You know, the teachers will handle it. I'm just gonna go to work, they'll handle it. And then they get angry at the teachers for not disciplining their children. But again, it all starts in the home. It starts
That
with
is
the parents.
true,
My
but the
friend Amir
teachers are also not doing the best job. Come on. There, in this case, we can find a golden middle. Because yes, I agree that it all starts from the house, but I can also agree that, you know, if they did have a good teacher who would just put them down and told them to stop doing it, they would have been okay.
who you guys know I just adore. He is the best. He recently did a whole video on this, specifically on why teachers are quitting. You should go check out his channel, Chef's Kiss. He's amazing. And if you want to hear
Yeah, I gotta note him down. We're gonna check him in the next stream.
more about Gen Alpha specifically and the Sephora kids and all of that, we'll link some of our episodes below because it is truly an epidemic and we've talked about it a lot recently. But obviously, as I keep saying, this behavior has to come from somewhere. It does not just happen out of thin air. The contempt, the lack of respect for adults, the lack of respect for personal space, the violence, that comes from a lack of discipline and a lack of boundaries. From not knowing simple things like how to share or how to wait your turn. And that is why people were so alarmed by Cecily's video. Because for once, they saw this behavior being encouraged in real time and from a mother that people love and who obviously is very well intentioned. This is not a neglectful mom. She is not a bad mom. She does seem like she's a good mom. And so I think that that was a wake up call for a lot of people. And I think it was great that people were able to track this and see the pattern. It kind of reminds me of when I use my Lumen.
It kind of reminds me when I skip your ads that I don't get paid for.
No. And that's not a joke, because we need to bring back no. And that's not a joke, because I really feel like there's actually a stigma around saying no to your kids, because gentle parenting has become mistaken with submissive parenting.
Or lazy parenting. Parents who do not want to
That
do the
is
hard
also
thing, that do
true.
not want to have confrontation, that do not want to deal with the hardships of disciplining your children because it's uncomfortable and you don't want to make them sad. They go, oh, well, I'm gentle parenting. No, that's you being lazy and excusing your lazy, bad parenting.
Gentle
Which again is super confused with parents. I can get when it comes to, how do we say this? To different types of relationships where when you've got someone either who you're working with or someone you may be probably romantically involved. But you have authority over babies. It's your call how it goes, and definitely not theirs. So what are you waiting for?
parenting would have just been saying no to her other kids firmly but nicely. This is not your day. This is your sister's day. I guess I just feel that this generation of parenting is so afraid to traumatize our kids that we forget that saying no is not a bad thing, that making them wait and be patient and be bored and be quiet is not a bad thing.
Also, the idea that something as simple as saying no is traumatizing. And that also connects to a whole other issue of mental health and mental illness being so normalized to the point of it meaning nothing. Like, trauma is real. There are people that have very, very serious trauma. PTSD is real. Saying no to your child is not traumatizing them. And if you genuinely think that it is, we need to step back and have a completely different conversation.
Look at this guy. Look at him. Let me go full screen. I was often taught no. Had my ups and downs. Still came to where I am. No, but in all seriousness, if you don't say the no's, the yeses just lose value. So who are you really helping with such logic?
iPads in the car, at restaurants. I don't think they're doing it to be bad or to be lazy. I really feel like they just want their kid to always be happy and always be comfortable and always be entertained, and like that's the best thing to do. But if you talk to an
No, that is not the best thing to do. The best thing to do is to give your child the best childhood. Your interest is not in making the child happy. No. Your interest is to make sure that the child most a happy and satisfied person. Sure, you can have them playing around and etc., but the goal is your child needs to become a happy, so to say, a satisfied person. And doesn't mean that it has to always have happy feels from different dopamines that they get around this world.
Adult that is resilient, that is motivated, that is respectful, they probably were told no a lot in their life. I'm sure the smartest people on this planet had a lot of time to be bored and a lot of time to use their brain. I also feel that people use the word trauma way too much, because not everything is trauma. Your kid is not going to get traumatized for crying, for being bored because you said no.
I mean, with every she said that was so balanced.
Similar.
It was kind, but it was spot on. And it obviously struck a chord with people. One woman said, as a teacher who has to work with students on the daily who are clearly never told no, I appreciate you speaking up about this. Another woman said, as an elementary teacher, these kids will look at you so wildly when you say no. That word does not exist in so many students.
Cool. I don't care how you look at me. Yeah, it's a no. Oops, sorry. No. Yeah, you can look at me wildly. Poor thing. No.
Vocabulary, so thank you for speaking up. Another person said, as a nanny, this is spot on. Literally, some parents let their kids do whatever they want nowadays because they want their kids to be happy every minute. And it's not just that this has happened accidentally. Like, gentle parenting experts and therapists and proponents of the participation trophies have all been encouraging this for years. It has been a slow burn, and now we are seeing the results of this type of parenting. And again, I don't think that these are bad people. I think that a lot of this was very well-intentioned. And while they might just have wanted to make their kids feel good or feel included or not be as strict as their terrible boomer parents, we have obviously gone way too far in the opposite direction. Kids need structure and discipline. They often don't understand nuance or subtleties yet. And saying no should not be thought of as triggering. And you should not teach your kids that hearing it is triggering or prepare them for it to be triggering.
We got a new follower on Twitch. Congratulations. Welcome to the team. Hadavar 777. Ah, yes, much more sevens. Let's go.
Because when they become adults and they go into the real world, they're going to face a harsh reality of constant no's when things do not go their way, because that is.
Remember what I just said about preparing the kid for life. It also comes from saying such no's.
Just kind of how life is. Life is a never-ending sea of challenges that we all have to overcome. And every time that we overcome them, we become better. We become better, more well-informed, well-intentioned people. That's how life works. And you need to teach your kids that from a very young age. Starting with not letting them blow out their sister's candles because they want to be included. No, just say no. It is so easy. And we cannot let this go any further, because based on the victim mentality that has taken hold of our society, I would say that we are already seeing the very dire consequences. So yes, it is time to change course, parents.